I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time I need that heartbeat, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around me, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. 713 to the 281, yeah, I'm riding. Why they on me? Why they on me? I'm flying, sipping low-key. I'm sipping low-key and honest, rider. I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time I need that heartbeat, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, throw that to the side, yeah. When I'm pulling up right beside you, pops all in my ride, yo. When I text a cute game wildness, throw a stack on the Bible, never Snapchat or took Molly. She fought for plenty, her and all her guineas, yeah. We at the top floor, right there off through Henny, yeah. Oh no, I can't fuck with y'all, yeah. When I'm with my squad, I cannot do no wrong, yeah. Saucing in the city, don't get misinformed, yeah. They gon' pull up on you, yeah. We gon' do some things you can't relate, yeah. Cause we from a place you cannot stay. Oh, you can't go, oh, I don't know. Oh, back the fuck up. I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry for the moment of silence there. I've been trying to get the mic to actually pick up and work properly, and it seems like we finally got it going. So, thank you for just being patient and staying there. It's a bit difficult on it's a bit difficult. I do see we don't have that many viewers. I'm guessing it's because we do have our president that is busy speaking at the moment about the new COVID 19 statistics and infection rates and all that. So, guys out there, please do be careful and be safe. Be safe. Sorry for the giggles. I've got my family in the background that's busy watching the president speaking. So, I kind of need to, try and keep them in mind that they're joking around about maybe having to talk softer. So, just a bit of fun here in the house. It's actually very nice having all of them support us as well in what we're doing, and it does mean a lot to us. Well, we've got about 5 minutes left of the qualifying, and at the moment we have 12 drivers that is on the server. It's busy pushing extremely fast times out there, and if we have a bit of a look, we at the moment have Kian Gous in that very nice looking SRA Mini of his in pole position with a super fast time of 1 minute 51.9. Now, guys, this is a very fast time. If I say this is about A class times, and I mean top of the log A class times that this youngster is doing. And I can assure you that his dad can be very proud of him out there. Then in second place, we've got Dylan in that very nice looking Sukamiza upholstery and motor trimming mini of his racing under SSRL. So he's part of their team. He is in second place with a 152.1, which again is a very fast time. Then we've got our new driver, Craig Wesley, at the moment in third position with a 152.5 and that very nice looking SRA Flaming Mini. I'm pretty sure that he needs to be sponsored by Spur because it looks like that Mini is just flame grilled. But again, very nice looking car of his. Then we've got Peter out there in the Mofo Bros Mini, the number 101, and also the Heineken that's on the side of the car. He's in fourth position with a 1 minute 52.6 seconds around the track. In fifth at the moment, we've got Timo with a 1 minute 52.612. That very nice looking SRA BMW Mini of his, the number 83. Then in sixth, we've got if I'm not wrong, that is the British flag looking Mini of Johan Niemand, the number 17. He's in sixth position with a 152.7. Then we've got Michael Rust in that very nice looking blue Volvo Cars Namibia Mini, the number 66. Now he is from Namibia himself, so he's one of our foreign drivers, if I can say it in that way. However, one of our founding members is from Namibia, and the rest is from South Africa. Then we've got Jason now in the other Sukomiza SSRL Mini, the number 7. Very nice looking Mini of his. He's in 8th position with a 153.1. And then we've got in 9th position, we've got our lady racer, Joni Lee Marcham, who is doing at the moment a 154.1. And at times he's just improving bit by bit every lap in that very nice looking black and purple Mini with an extremely funny face in the front that just looks like it wants to eat you up from behind. So the guy always jokes around trying to avoid it due to the fact that she's got the teeth. And then also we've got the very nice looking Chaos Crew on the top of the roof. So guys, please do go and have a look at the sponsors that's on the cars. This is real businesses, real companies that puts in a lot of effort and time in helping the drivers out there on the track to improve their racing and their style. And as we are on board of her, she cuts the corner a little bit too tight and runs off the track, regaining and going on of the race. Then in 10th position in the Smart Link Marketing Mini, we have Conrad Janssen van Rensburg in the 111 Mini. Very nice looking blue Mini of his there. He's currently doing a 154.3. Then we've got Rob that's out there in the 151 Mini. Very nice black and white TAU energy drink Mini that's out there. Also a very nice looking car. He's doing a 154.7. And then we've got in 12th position in the Vortex Mini, we have Herman out there. Now guys, like I said, the sponsors that you see on the cars and out on the track is real businesses. Please do go on Facebook and Google and go and have a little bit of a look at the sponsors and the businesses. Always feel free to contact them if you need anything or if they can assist you with something that you do need. Having a quick look at the YouTube channel at the moment, I see we've got Sean Weber that's saying hello there. We've got, I think that's Kelsey that's on the YouTube channel saying hi, go Craig. Now Craig is actually her father. I'm not too sure where her brother is. I know he also races, but I don't see him out there tonight, so it's a little bit of hard luck not seeing Tyrant out on the track. He is a very fast driver, however he is still new, but I'm pretty sure we will see him in the next rounds. Then we've got Peter Grobler that's there on the chat as well. He says this is the last round. Yes guys, this is the last round of the mini cup that we are having on Kyalami. In Division B at the moment, we have the point standings. We've got Dylan Visage in first position, Kian Gous in second position, and third we've got Peter de Toy. And there is not a lot of point difference between the guys. If everything goes well and Dylan just keeps it all together, he should be able to take this championship for the Class B. But anything can happen, and Kian or Peter can actually take this championship away from them. So they need to be careful, or he needs to be careful, and just stay focused out there. So the qualifying is done. We have our starting grid, which will be first Kian Gous, in second Dylan, third Craig, fourth Peter, fifth Timo, sixth Johan, seventh Michael, eighth Jason, ninth Joni, 10th Craig, 11th Rob, and 12th will be Herman. So again, just having a little bit of a quick look at the track layout for tonight. We will be racing on Kyalami. You can see there's quite a few long straights and sharp corners, so it's going to be quite interesting. Not a lot of passing opportunities. However, if you run off the track, you are going to lose out quite a bit out there. So they do need to be careful when they do this. Other than that, we will have two races. Your first race will be 20 minutes plus a lap, and then the second race will again be 20 minutes plus a lap. However, the start will be the top 8 drivers inverted. So the driver finishing in first will start in 8th position, and the driver finishing in 8th will start in pole position. So we are now in overtime, and we are waiting for the server to kick over. While we do that, I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and I'll see you back in a few minutes.
I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need that Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around me, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. Sitting on free, do it when I'm riding. Why they on me? Why they on me? I'm flying, sipping low key. I'm sipping low key and honest, rider, rider. I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything go fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need that Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around me, throw that to the side, yeah. When I'm pulling up right beside you, pop star Lil Mariah, when I text a cute gay and wildness. Throw a stack on the Bible, never Snapchat or took Molly. She fought for plenty, her and all her guineas. Yeah, we at the top floor, right there off through Henny. Yeah, oh no, I can't fuck with y'all. Yeah, when I'm with my squad, I cannot do no wrong. Yeah, saucing in the city, don't get misinformed. Yeah, they gon' pull up on you. Yeah, we gon' do some things you can't get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah.
So we have about 2 minutes left before the the start of the first race for Class B, and this is the finals for this evening, or well, for this championship. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens and who finishes where. The guys are on the starting grid at the moment, and Kian Gous will be taking us off the starting line with Dylan Visagi on his outside. Then we've got on the second row, we've got Craig Wesley and Pieter de Tooy. In the third row, we've got Timo Smit, Johan Niemand. In the fourth row, we've got Michael Rust and Jason. And then we've got Joni and Craig, which wraps up our top 10. So the lights is on and the race is about to start. After the first few seconds of the race, I will jump over into the pit and get my car off the track. And the race is off and they start. And you can see Craig had a very good start as he pulls into the inside, running down the straight. Now they're going to get to this very sharp corner. Let me just get back into the track. Oh no, what's going on here? I can't get there. We go. So we start getting some of the cars out on the track. And as we go on board there with Rob, we see him lose it completely. I'm not too sure what's going on with the camera views here, but let's just go back up to the front. Yeah, at the moment we are live on Kian Gous, who has Dylan behind him, and then Peter there in third position. I'm just trying to sort out my cameras here and my positionings. I'm not too sure what's going on and why I can only pick up one driver at the moment, who is Rob, that is now running there at the back at the moment. Again, I do apologize. We do have some technical difficulties. I'm not too sure what is going on. I will have to stay on this view for the first lap, and hopefully at the end of the first lap, this should go over and become a very more useful program to have. I do apologize for that. So we still have Kian in first position. We've got Dylan right behind him. Peter de Tooy there in third position. Behind them, we've now got a very nice battle going there between Jason as well. I'm not too sure who is in the runnings with him. I can bring up the screen quick to see. I think that should be Johan Niemand that is there with Jason at the moment, fighting it out. And then we've got Michael Rust that's also right in there. And we've got Joni that is in ninth position, with Conrad, who has moved up in the pack now, that is sitting at the moment there in, I think it should be 8th position. Again, I'm not too sure what's going on. I'm going to see if I can get this sorted out. There we go. Now the names is starting to come up. So again, now we've got our full grid back up and everyone can see where all the drivers is. I do apologize for that. I'm not too sure why it was doing that. So we've got Kian Gous in first position with Dylan Visagi, who is really pushing it very hard, trying to get past him. And Peter is just sitting there in that third position, waiting patiently for one of these two drivers to make a mistake so that he can capitalize and take that position away from them. In fourth position, we have Johan Niemand with Jason now that is right on the heels of him, and Michael Rust also in there. We have Craig that's coming up there in 7th position at the moment, with Conrad that is behind him in 8th and Joni still in 9th. We've got Herman, Timo and Rob that will be finishing off this grid at the moment as it is standing. I can see on the YouTube channel that Sean just said that Joni's hooter makes him laugh. Yes, that is quite a funny hooter that she has, but it does fit the silly face on the car as well. Then we've got Sean Weber that is shouting there for Jason as well. We have Melvin Gous that was saying hi on the YouTube channel, as well as Rob. Rob, you're not supposed to say hi on the YouTube channel, you're supposed to be racing. But anyway, it's a little bit of bad luck for Rob there in the beginning of the race, losing out a few spaces and some time, but I'm pretty sure he will come back strong in this race still. Getting back up to the front, we still have that very nice battle going for first position, which is now becoming a three-way battle as these drivers are less than half a second away from each other. You can see Dylan trying to have a look up on the outside, and he opens the door there for Peter to make his move and come in as they head into the main straight. A little bit of contact between the two drivers, and Peter again falls back into that third position of Dylan taking that second. As they're going through the kink, they are still running that slipstream trying. Dylan is diving up on the inside of Kian Goos as they go here into Crowthorne, and Dylan actually gets that move, but Kian has the inside line for the next corner. Can Dylan maintain it as he stays on the left hand side, having again the inside line there through Barbecue? I'm not too sure, but this is very good racing. Oh, unfortunately, you can see Peter in the background catching that sausage curb and losing out in that battle, dropping all the way down there into 7th position. But Kian and Dylan is still driving side by side as they're going through Sunset at the moment. This is extremely good racing to watch. They're going through Clubhouse Bend, and Dylan is now making his move past Kian, and he can say, okay, I'm officially in the first position, but now he has to maintain it through the S's, which is quite a tricky piece to go through. And they're going to head up there to Leeuwkop. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens there. Having a little bit of a look further back, we still have Johan Niemand and Jason now that is also busy fighting it out there for the third position with Michael Rust that's also in there. And you can see in the background, Craig is slowly but surely closing the gap onto them. He was in the third position for the qualifying, so he should make his way up through the pack. And I can assure you I've got my money on him to at least finish within the top 5, if not the top 3 for this evening. Further down the pack, we still have Peter that is there with Conrad behind him, Joni in 9th position, who is now busy fighting it out with Timo. However, Timo outbroke himself a little bit there, losing the Mini slightly, but gains control and does not spin off. Joni running it extremely tight over that sausage curb, nearly putting the Mini onto 2 wheels as they're going into Ingwe at the moment and then heading down into the main straight. Will Timo be able to run that slipstream, or is she going to be able to maintain him or keep him behind her as they are now heading down the main straight? She's slightly pulling away, but he is having a look up on the inside as they go into Crowthorne, but she closes the door on him and keeps that 9th position. Very nice driving, clean racing there from her. She's running very defensive lines and is doing extremely well out there. I can still see in the front that Dylan Visagi is still in our first position. He's slowly pulling away from Kian at the moment. He is about 0.7 to 0.8 of a second now behind Dylan. I do know that Kian had the fastest lap time out in qualifying, so I cannot put this one out of the race yet. I cannot assure you that Dylan will be able to take it. However, if he just maintains his consistency, I'm pretty sure he will finish in first on this one. Still having a very nice dice out there is Johan Niemand as well as Jason Nell, who is also fighting very hard. Jason is pushing that Mini to the max at the moment, being up with 0.2 of a second on his delta. So he's really pushing a very fast lap at the moment. Then behind them, we've got Michael Rust and Craig that is busy having a very nice fight also there for the 6th position, well, 5th position, as Craig is trying to have a look up on the inside, but Michael closes the door on him and runs slightly wide, allowing Craig to get a lot closer to him now. He's going to have to be very good on that defensive line, but Craig nearly puts that Mini onto 2 wheels as they're going through Cheetah and now into Ingwe, and Craig is right behind him. If he can run the slipstream, he might be able to have a look up on the inside there of Michael, but I'm not too sure if he'll be able to pull it off, as Michael is a very experienced racer in the real life as well as in the sim racing. But Craig is very fast out there on his new Logitech G29 steering wheel as he's diving up on the inside, outbraking Michael Rust. Very nice move. However, he runs a bit wide now. Michael has the outside line and will most probably get the better run through as Craig runs over the sausage curb, losing some time there. Michael is now sitting right behind him and will most probably go and have a look up on the outside, trying to go through the outside of him, but he has to slow down into Sunset as Craig has the better line going through there. Very well done there to Craig as he made that pass on into the 5th position, but Michael as well as Craig has beat up the toy right behind them. and he is very hungry to take one of or both of those positions away from them. I can see Michael Rust is lagging a little bit out there, or had a bit of a ping spike. We will just have to keep an eye out on that one and see what happens throughout the race. Going further down the pack, I can now see Joni is falling down there into the 11th position. I'm not too sure what happened there. I do know she was in 9th fighting it out there with Timo, who is now on the heels there of Conrad in that very nice looking Smart Link Mini. And Timo is really pushing it hard. He is one of the fast drivers on the track. He's really trying his best to get past Conrad there as well and move his way up into the pack. I can see some of the people on the YouTube channel. We've got 18 viewers there. Please guys, do go and share this video, share the link to your friends and family, get more people to come and watch the racing. We are live out there, and this is very interesting and always good racing to watch, especially in your class B and A. I do apologize for that little bit of a cough out there. So Timo has now worked his way up into 8th position as he passed Conrad there. Having a look up to the front, we have Johan Niemann and Jason now, who is swapping positions back and forth at the moment as they are really fighting it out hard for that 3rd position. You can see Craig has fallen a little bit back, who still has Peter that's there on him trying to get that position as well. So they're also busy having a very nice battle out there. Back up to the front, I'm not too sure what happened, but I see Kian Gous has now made a move on Dylan and has taken that 1st position away from Dylan again. So for the 2nd time in this race, we've got the leader swap that is going on here. And I can assure you it will not be the last one for this specific race that we are having. These two guys are very fast. We've got a very new and young driver with another driver that's a bit more experienced. So Dylan also do know that, you just need to take it easy every now and then and just wait it out. As the harder you push these cars, the more tires you use, the less grip you get, and also the more fuel you use, and it becomes a little bit more tricky to handle the car as the race progresses. So we have about 6 minutes left of this race, and then we will have another lap before they can finish. And anything can happen in this time. If you outbrake yourself a little bit, run wide, or even lock up and slide, you will lose some time and end up losing a position. So we still have Dylan that is having a look there onto Kian, running that slipstream as they're now going through the kink. Will he be able to get the inside line and the drive there onto Kian Gous as they're now going into Crowthorne? However, Kian locks up that back wheel, and you can see how blood red those brakes gets from that Mini as they are really putting the brakes on hard as they try and get the best drive in and out of the corners there. Having a little bit of a look further down the pack, we have a very nice battle going here for the 10th position between Joni and Herman, as Herman runs and pushes Joni a little bit wide. She's keeping very good defensive lines there as he's now taking the inside line going through the sausage curb. That will cost him very dearly as she's got the better line going around the outside. Very nice drive there by Joni, taking the outside line all the way around Herman as they are now going into Sunset. She's got the faster line and the better drive through there. She is really battling it out there for that 10th position of Herman. This is extremely good racing. He's trying to have a look up on the inside, but doesn't make it. She brakes a little bit too hard, locking up the wheels, but gets a very good run out of the corner. He's now again trying to have a look up as they're going into the S's, but she still has the best line through there, maintaining that 10th position and just running the best out of that Mini and pushing it as hard as possible. Herman now having a look up on the inside as they're getting into Leeuwkop. He is hard on the brakes, cutting through over the sausage curb. She's still on the outside. She has the better line through there. They are now running down into Mineshaft. Again, she had the best drive out of that line. Very good defensive lines as well as attacking there from her. And Herman is really pushing that little black and purple Mini of Joni very hard as he tries to get the inside line there. But again, she's very good on the defensive and keeps him behind her. Now getting into Cheetah, she keeps it very nice and tight as they're going into Ingwe before they head down the main straight into Crowford. Will he be able to run the slipstream and get that inside line? Or will she be able to defend that? He's going a little bit left, right, but she does go for the inside line. She says, nope, I'm rather going to stick to the inside line. You will have to drive around me. Will he be able to make his move, or will he still stay behind her? However, he's now taking a look up on the inside as they go into Crowthorne. He's running tight, she's running tight. She's got the inside line for the next corner, so she should be fine through there. And the next one, she's got the outside line. He's going through the inside, but she keeps him behind her yet again. Very well driving between these two drivers. Now, this is the fun thing about this class that they are racing in. The JCW Mini Cup is a stock standard locked setup racing. So everything on the cars is exactly the same. The only thing you can change is your brake bias and turn your ABS on and off. So this is all about driving ability and your driving skill. So the guys is really pushing it very hard through there. And it is extremely good to see who's got the better lines and a little bit better knowledge of the track as well as the cars out there. Still going up to the front of the pack, we have Kian Ghost that's still there in the lead with a 0.3 second gap over Dylan. So Dylan is still fighting it hard, not letting Kian go. He wants that first position from Kian, and he's going to do whatever he can to try and maintain that second place and get as close to Kian as they're now running down the main straight into Crowthorne. Will he be able to get the inside line there, or is Kian going to be able to defend his position successfully as they are now heading into Crowthorne? Yes, Kian has a little bit better drive through there, so he keeps that position with Dylan still behind him. We've got Johan Niemand and Jason that is still fighting it out. Well, Jason has now got Craig to worry about because Craig is all over the backside of him. But Peter is also in the mix there. So this is going to become a four-way battle there for third position. These guys are pushing it very hard in at the moment in the front pack as they are fighting it out for that second position, because this is a four-way battle for second position. However, anything can happen. I can assure you Peter is not going to let off of Craig, and Craig wants to take that position away from Jason. He's been doing very well in the series so far. I do know that before the last race he was laying third for points and unfortunately had a very bad race, the previous one on Spa, and dropped down all the way there into sixth position. He's pushing that Mini very hard, locking up the brakes, sliding out the backside, trying to maintain control. It's going to cost him some time, but he at least maintains his position and stays on the track. But now Peter has came a lot closer to him, so they are really fighting it out hard. Peter wants to get that position as he dives up on the inside and unfortunately takes out Jason now there. That is very unfortunate. But he, however, does slow down and wait and gives that position back to Jason. Very well done there from him. Peter, that was excellent doing from you. You know you made a mistake and gave that position back. However, Jason has run wide off the track. I think he's got some suspension damage and most probably will be retiring this Mini for this race. Yes, he has gone back to the pits and unfortunately disconnected from the server. Now, we do know that this is racing and every now and then a driver is going to try and make a move and outbrake himself. And unfortunately, there is contact here and there. And it is sad to see it, but it is racing, unfortunately, like I said. But the guys should know, rather stay in the race and finish it and get some points in the bag. Do not just quit. But it is a little bit of a very sad one that. Going further back up the front, we now have Craig that's in the fourth position. That's now going to start working his way down there onto the back of Johan Niemann. He's got Michael Russ that's still pushing behind him. That's also going to try and get that position. You can see Peter now went down quite a quite a distance behind the pack as he did wait for Jason to rejoin the track, who then lost it out in the corner again on his own. Joni now moved up into the ninth position, who has now got a 2-second lead over Herman. So they were fighting it out, but she is pulling away from him ever so slightly as the race continues, running a little bit wide off the track, using the full section of the track and the runoffs. So again, having a little bit of a look on the YouTube channel, we've got Karen Kotze that says, wow, Joni. And now that's actually her mom, and also my mom that is out there supporting us in what we love doing. She is also a real racer that races on Kyalami, and hopefully will be back on the track, on the oval track at the moment, where they are busy working towards. So we're good to see her there. We have Dangerous Banana again. Jock, good evening. I hope you're doing well out there. Hexar, I'm not too sure who you are. Yes, it is sad to see that Jason left the race. Yes, Sean, I do agree with you. It was a bit sad on that overshoot on the corner. It was very well done for him to give that position back, and then unfortunately Jason lost it out on his own and then left the race. So yes, it is a bit sad. And then we've still got Craig's daughter out there also shouting for him. Oh, and I actually missed the final lap of this race. How did I miss the end of this race? Oh my word, I was so concentrated on everything else. So, first position, Dylan. Second, Kian. Third, Johan. Fourth, Craig. Fifth, we've got Michael. Sixth, Peter. Seventh, Timo. Eighth, Conrad. Ninth, Joni. In 10th, we've got Herman. In 11th, we've got Craig with that did not finish, who should be dropping down at the moment into 12th position. And then we have Rob that still has to complete his final lap as he goes through Crocodile there into Cheetah, and then he will be having Ingwe and then the start finish straight, and he will be finishing in 11th position. Unfortunately, we did lose Jason in this race. So again, having a look there for the start of the second race, we will have, I'm not too sure why it still says that. I do know that Jason has a DNF, so he should be laying behind Rob. However, the server is only picking him up in 12th position. So for the start of the second race, we should have Conrad, Timo, Peter, Michael, Craig, Johan, Kian, and Dylan that will be starting in that's the top 8 that will be inverted. Joni will be starting in 9th, Herman in 10th, and Jason and Rob there in 11th position. This is going to be quite interesting to see. Can Dylan and Kian make their way through the pack? I do know this is the second race. It is the championship finals. But however, the race is never won in the first lap. They will have to be a little bit patient as the race starts going through the first few corners, and then hopefully get through there in a safe manner. But I'll be back with you shortly. I'm just going to take a little bit of a breather.
I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need that Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around me, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. So I'm free, you ain't when I'm riding. Why they on me? Why they on me? I'm flying, sipping low-key. I'm sipping low-key and honest, rider. I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need that Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, throw that to the side, yeah. When I'm pulling up right beside you, pop star Lil Mariah, you wanna text a cute gay and wildness. Throw a stack on the Bible, never Snapchat or took Molly. She fought through plenty, her and all her guineas. Yeah, we at the top floor, right there off through Henny. Yeah, oh no, I can't fuck with y'all. Yeah, when I'm with my squad, I cannot do no wrong. Yeah. Yeah, saucing in the city, don't get misinformed. Yeah, they gon' pull up on you. Yeah, we gon' do some things you can't relate. Yeah, 'cause we from a place you cannot stay. Oh, you can't go. Oh, I don't know. Oh, back the fuck up. I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah.
And we are back with about 30 seconds before the second race starts. I did say we will be having a grid that is a little bit swapped around. So in first position, we've got Conrad, Timo, Peter, Michael, Craig, Johan, Kian, Dylan, Joni, Herman. And then we've got Rob there in 11th position as they will be starting this one. So Conrad will be taking us off the line. Again, this is going to take a little bit of time before I can actually jump over into the cameras. And the race has started. So we'll be on Dylan. As you can see, Peter is trying to run up on the inside already. Kian also having a look up there with Dylan as well. These guys are a lot faster, and I can promise you they will be maintaining a little bit of a safe distance through the first corners, because they do know that there will most probably be a little bit of contact, and the race is never won in the first race. However, there was major contact in the beginning of the race. I'm not too sure what happened there, but everyone seems to have gotten through there in a safe manner. Unfortunately, Rob had contact there with someone and got taken out, and there's still major accidents going on with Herman, as well as I think that is Dylan that had some contact there. Yes, let's go up into the serve now. So we have Timo that is busy running away with this one. We've got Peter in second, Kian that's now in third, with Michael in fourth, Craig in fifth, Johan Niemand in sixth, Joni there in seventh, Dylan that's all the way down into 8th position where he started. He's still in 8th. Then we've got Herman in 9th, Conrad in 10th, and Rob that has rejoined the race and is in 10th or 11th position. I'm not too sure what happened there. I would like to have a look on the replay of the race and see what was going on. So Timo is now just running away with this one at the moment. Like I said earlier, he is a very fast driver, and once he gets the opportunity to get the lead and start running with the race, he will run away with it, and it's going to be very difficult for the guys to catch up to him. So it will be interesting to see what will happen. Kian has still worked his way up there from 7th position into 3rd with the contact and the incident that was at the start of the race. I'm not too sure what happened. Again, I would like to know. Then we've got Michael still there in 4th position, who has Craig right behind him in 5th. I can assure you in the first race it was the same kind of a fight for Craig and Michael, and Craig will try everything that he can to make his move on Michael and take that 4th position from him. Joni now has Dylan behind her, and she's going to make it very difficult for him to pass her. She does know that he is a faster driver, but she's not just going to give that position away. He's going to have to work for it and make his way past her in a safe way. She's going to be running very defensive lines and have a look and a fight of her life trying to keep him behind her. She's doing very well out there. This is a very good track for her. She's comfortable on the track. She's running on the outside. He's having a look up on the inside, having a bit of a better drive going into Sunset there. She allows him to get that inside line, and she's most probably just going to try and tie a rope onto the back of him, trying to have a look on the undercut as they come out of the corner. She gets that inside line, pushing that little mini of hers as hard as possible, trying to get that position again from him. But if she keeps up with him, she should be able to make her way through the pack and just follow his lead. Still in the front, we have Peter, who is closing the gap there onto Timo. There is now less than a second gap between Timo and Peter, as well as Kian, who is right there behind Peter. So these two guys are working their way up and will try and get that first position away from Timo. As they go into Crocodile, you can see Peter locking up his wheels, they're trying to brake as late as possible and as hard as possible. He's now right behind Timo with less than 0.3 of a second between them as they're going into Ingwe now and then down the main straight. Getting into the main straight, he will be running that slipstream and then diving up on the inside as they go into Crowthorne. Can Kian follow him, or will he stay behind in that third position and wait his turn for a next section of the track to make his move? Peter is going up on the inside. Timo still has the lead. He's braking hard. Kian also there hard on brakes. Peter now moving up into the first position as he made that move on Timo. Now Kian also around the outside there of Timo, still following the lead of Peter. Peter is going to have the fight of his life also out there with Kian Gous that's right behind him. This youngster is extremely fast. He's new to the sport, but he's really one to watch. I can assure you, coming in the next league that we've got, which will be the Polo Cup, he's going to do exceptionally well out there. And I know that Melvin is not there with him tonight, so I have to say hats off to this guy. He's really doing well. I think he's about 15 or 16 years old. I'm not too sure. But for a youngster, he's extremely fast in the driving seat of the car. So we have at the back, mid-back, we still have Michael Rust, Craig and Johan Niemand that is fighting it out there now for the fourth position, as Johan has joined in on this battle and said, I also want part of the fun. You guys can't have it all to yourselves. So Michael, Craig and Johan is also now busy closing that gap there onto Timo. So I can guarantee you this is going to become a four-way battle for that third position, which is going to be fun to watch as they run slightly into the inside of the track, losing a little bit of time. You can see Johan having a better drive there on Craig, having a look up on the outside, but has to fall in behind Craig, as Craig just had the better drive going there through Cheetah and into Ingwe. Now Craig is having Johan Niemand all the way on the back of him. I do know that Gerrit was supposed to be racing with us. I'm not too sure why he's not out there. It is sad to see him not be there. Going to have a look on the YouTube channel. We have Christine that's also saying hi, saying it's looking good out there, guys and girls. And we've got Nico Smith that's also there, that's also saying hi. It's very nice to have everyone here on the YouTube channel. I do appreciate having the company. Matt Williams also, I'm very excited for the Polo Cup. Yes, we all are. I can guarantee you that. I do know that last year was a major success in the Polo Cup, and this year will be even better with Peter Grobler, who is busy building the new Polo Cup, as well as we have one or two other surprises that might be coming. I do know they're busy working on building a new Kyalami track for the Polo Cup series. Well, it's not a new track. It's going to be the same track. It's just a little bit more modern and looks more like the real deal. I have seen some of the work that they've done, and I can guarantee you guys it's going to be amazing to watch the racing on the stream, especially when it comes to the Polo Cup. If anyone wants to join in on the sim racing with SRA, feel free to go to our YouTube page under Sim Race Africa. You can get our Discord link there, as well as the WhatsApp invite link. Feel free to join Discord as well as the WhatsApp. We can keep you updated to what's coming and what's happening, as well as all the fun lobbies and beer lobbies that we have out during the weeks and in the off seasons. So meaning in the off seasons, between each league that we're running, we've got about 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes a month, where we take a bit of a break to get everything finalized and sorted out. Also doing qualifiers for the drivers to be able to see in which division they'll be racing, and also give them some time to get their cars ready. As you can see, the guys do put a lot of effort into getting their minis, or their racing cars, to look as good as what it does. Also getting a little bit of sponsors involved and getting them to advertise on the streams. So we'll have about 3 to 4 weeks now after the mini cup or the start of the Polo Cup. So be patient, stay with us, and I can assure you the Polo Cup is going to be one that you do not want to miss. It's always full of action and very close racing. So still up in the front, we have Peter, who's got Kian Gous that is still sitting there right behind him. He's pushing it extremely hard, trying to get past Peter, but Peter is running that defensive lines very well, keeping Kian behind them. There's 0.3 of a second behind or between the two of them, and Kian is just right there. He's just sitting there pushing that pressure onto Peter, saying, you're gonna have to make a mistake or I'm gonna run your slipstream and dive up on the inside of you. So it's going to be interesting to watch what happens in the next few laps. We've got about 8 minutes left to go for this race, as Kian is now trying to have a look up on the outside. Peter will most probably try and outbrake him and push him a little bit wide. As I said, that they made some contact, but he's still right there on the back of Peter as they're now running through Mineshaft. They are going through the mineshaft at the moment. Kian is running that slipstream, having a look up on the outside into Crocodile. Can he go around it, or will he do the undercut as they come out of the corner, as he's trying his utmost best to get into that first position and get top scoring points for this evening, and hopefully take this championship away from Dylan, who is now still in 7th position. Now they're going there through Ingwe into the start-finish straight. Can Kian run that slipstream and take that first position into Crowthorne? Kian still sitting behind Dylan. Behind Peter, as Peter is now pulling a little bit away from Kian. He had a better drive through Ingwe and down that straight section of the track. Timo and Craig, it's now going to start most probably fighting it out there for the 4th position, as Craig has made his move and overtook Michael. So Michael went down into 5th and Craig into 4th, and he's already starting to pull a little bit of a gap there on Michael. So will he be able to work his way up there onto Timo and hopefully take that 3rd position away from him? I do know that Craig was faster in the qualifying than what Timo was, and also at the moment doing a little bit faster lap times, so he should be able to close that gap. Further down, we still have Dylan there in 7th position. We've got Joni that is comfortably in 8th position, with no one anywhere close to her that can put her under pressure, and she is trying to work her way back up into the field there, with the front runners just pulling a gap between them. We still have Rob there in 10th position, who has overtaken Herman. So I'm not too sure what happened there with Herman, as I do know Rob was in the last position and Herman is quite a far distance away from Rob. But very well done in moving up into that 10th position. Conrad still cruising it out there in the 9th position. And as we are saying this, Peter and Kian is now fighting it out very hard for that 1st position, as Kian made his move and overtook Peter, but Peter unfortunately did that undercut and just overtook Kian again, taking that 1st position back. Now going through Ingwe, and Kian is right there on Peter. Can he run that slipstream and make his move on him, or will he have to stay behind him? As we are just going on board there with Kian, as they are now running down through the kink and getting there into Crowthorne. He's having a look up on the outside, braking a bit later, trying to get that outside line, but Peter cuts him off. Kian still sitting there on the back of him, really trying his best to get the better lines into the corners, braking a bit earlier than what Peter does, trying to avoid the outside, getting a decent run on him, but runs wide off the track, now allowing Peter to pull a little bit of a gap on him again. Like I said, once you go off the track, that kitty litter on the outside just slows you down very badly, and you end up losing a lot of time. But Kian is still not backing out of this one. There's about 5 minutes left to go, which means they've got about more or less 4 to 5 laps left for this race. And Kian is most probably sweating behind Peter, and just the amount of pressure that he's putting on him, I can assure you that Peter is also already most out of breath, trying to do his best to keep Kian behind him. Now they're going through Leeuwkop, and then they'll be heading down Mineshaft, they're into Crocodile, and then Cheetah. Well, it's a Cheetah and then Crocodile. I'm not too sure. I do know that these two has very weird animal names as they go. Yep, it's the Crocodiles, and then Cheetah, and then Ingwe as they head down into the start finish for this race. So Kian is still not backing out of this one, and Peter is doing his best as Kian puts his Mini onto 2 wheels, going there through Cheetah, pushing it very hard, losing a lot of time, unfortunately, as he hit that sausage curve, running wide out of Ingwe, now into the main straight. He's going to have a look up on the inside again there of Peter, if he can just get close enough as they go through the kink into Crowford. Can Kian actually make his move or not? Yes, he's braking a bit later, but unfortunately does not have the right amount of speed to catch up and take that position away there from Peter. This is a very nice close race and clean racing from these two drivers. Peter again is quite new with SRA. I think he's been racing with us for about 3 weeks. Well, not 3 weeks for this series, and he's doing very well out there. Kian still sitting on the back of him there through Sunset, trying to have a look up on the inside, but can't get it done. He now has to go through Clubhouse Bench, still in that second position behind Peter. He's really trying to get the best and fastest lines going through the corners and out of the corners, as they do know that if you get a better drive out of the corner, you will have the best opportunity to make your move and pass your opponent going into the next corner. So they're now coming up here into Leeuwkop, as Kian again is trying to have a look around the outside, but again has to fall in behind Peter. You can see there was a little bit of a ping spike, I think, there, and Kian just backed out of that one, saying, no, I'm not going to cost this one for me or you. I'll rather let you settle in on your internet and then get back into this race again. Like I said, some of these guys are from all over South Africa. Well, most of these guys are from all over South Africa as well as Namibia. So the internet is different, and sometimes they do have a little bit of issues with the ping. But Kian is still sitting there behind. Timo is also now getting into the mix as Kian tries to run wide, cuts it back in, again running off the track, but he's now even closer there onto Peter. But still there is 0.5 of a second between them. They are doing actually not that fast lap times. They're only doing 153s. When qualifying, they were doing 151s. So you can see the difference in lap times in a race and in qualifying. You have a lot of... You can be a bit more comfortable in the qualifying as you're not fighting it out with another driver. So you tend to do a little bit more faster times. But once the race starts, you can forget about that very fast lap time that you had. Unless you can make your way through and get into the front of the pack and just run away, you're going to have a little bit of a fight going in there. As Peter now runs wide, trying to get the best line, pushing Kian again behind him and saying, nope, I'm closing the door. You're not going to get past me. While these guys fight it out in the front of the pack, we still have Craig that's there in 4th position. He's comfortably driving there. He's got Timo right ahead of him, and he's going to try and get and close that gap. However, I can see there's about a 1 second lead or gap between Craig and Timo. So he is closing that gap slightly every lap, but I don't think he's going to be able to actually get that position from Timo unless he makes a big mistake. Then we've got Johan Niemand in 5th, Michael Rust in 6th, Dylan in 7th, who started in 8th position, had a bit of an incident in the beginning and dropped down all the way into 8th and then back up into 7th position. We still have Joni that's comfortably driving there in 8th position. She now has Conrad that is closing in on her, but she should be able to maintain that 8th position if she just keeps the consistency and gets to the end of this race. Still have Conrad there 9th, yes, Rob in 10th and Herman in 11th. But I am going back to Peter and Kian as they are now starting the final lap for this race. Going through the king, Kian is right on the back of him with 0.1 of a second. He's diving up on the inside. It is now or never. If he doesn't make it through this corner, he's not going to be able to get that position. He has to brake very hard. There's contact between Peter and Kian. And again, contact between Peter and Kian. And Kian, unfortunately, got the worst on that one and goes off the track into the tire wall. That was not a very nice sight to see. Kian was pushing it so hard in the race and unfortunately now losing out a lot of positions, going all the way from 1st to 4th. So unfortunately that can be tragic to him and his championship standings. But again, we will have the race steward look at that incident and they will decide what is going to happen and who was at fault. So yes, we do have after race, we do have the race stewards that reviews the races and incidents, and then the drivers do get penalized if they are found guilty on a incident, and they tend to get a time penalty or if it's very severe, they can even get disqualified from the race, or as what happened to a previous driver in this league, he got disqualified out of the entire league. So the guys are very strict on the rules, as SRA is a place where they are trying to get the best racing that there is for everyone. So they try and keep it as clean as possible and allow for the best racing. So the rules and the incident penalties is severely high. So do come and join us, race with us. If you're a new driver, feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to ask for help. The guys do not mind, and they tend to try and help you to better yourself. But they are running down the start finish. So this is the end of this race. And we have Peter in first, second Timo, third Craig, fourth Kian, fifth Johan, sixth Dylan, seventh is Michael. In 8th position, we will have Joni finishing there in 8th position. In 9th should be Conrad. In 10th, it will be Rob. And 11th will be Herman. So this was very well done out there this evening. The guys really did well, and our lady did just as well. As Conrad now finishes and goes over the line. Rob now coming there out of Ingwe and running down to the start finish line as he finishes this race as well. And then we still have Herman, who is also now coming there through Ingwe and heading down to the start finish as he finishes his race for this one as well as for this series. I have to say this was extremely good racing. It was very sad to see that little bit of an incident, and you can see the guys is going crazy doing that reverse burnout in the mini. Craig and Rob and Conrad, that's just having a lot of fun out there. And you can see now Joni also trying to get into the action, but unfortunately hits the wall there as she's trying to just join in. But Craig is very glad and celebrating this very good run of his for this evening. And I'm pretty sure if we have a little bit of a look at the point standings, I think he should be finishing there in 4th or 5th position for this series. I'm going to see if I can get some of the drivers into the drivers' briefing or into the commentators' booth to have a little bit of a chat to them and see how they felt about tonight's racing. So firstly, we will have Dylan, as he did very well out there. Hi Dylan, how are you doing? Let me just have a look here. Okay, so you will now be available on the channel. I'm good. How was the racing for you there?
But yeah, I have to say hats off to him. For a 16-year-old Lighty, I have to say, damn, he's some good competition.
Yeah, sorry. I actually lost you there on the stream for a moment. Could you mind repeating that for me, please?
It was a hell of a battle. Yeah, and I have to say, for a 16-year-old Lighty, I have to say, damn, he drives hard.
Yeah, no, he's very new to the sim racing. However, his dad is a very experienced racing driver and had him in the rig a few times already. But for a 16-year-old and being new, he is extremely fast out there. But it was a very nice battle in the first race between you guys. I saw you had a bit of a bad luck in the start there for the second race. I'm not too sure what happened there.
Yeah, there was a sort of a collision there in the front of me, so I tried to avoid everything. But unfortunately, when I went there, I think it was in the 4th corner, then I got rear-ended. And then, yeah, I tried to make up some positions, but I think in the S's, I pushed too hard, and my wheel just slipped the inside of the curb and flung me into the dirt. So, yeah, it made my race quite interesting and frustrating a bit.
Well, Dylan, if I'm not wrong, I think you were in the lead for the championship in the series for the B class. And we will have to have a look and see about the points. But if everything goes well, you should be the winner of the league, but we will announce that a little bit later. But thank you for joining us and racing with SRA. It's always fun to see you here, and I hope that you'll join in the Polo Cup as well for the next league.
Oh, definitely. I think the Polo Cups is going to be just as entertaining as the minis were. But yeah, thank you very much for everything, for the streams, for you guys at SRA. You got brilliant bunch of guys giving us such a great platform to ride on, and just being a fun fun oaks to enjoy this type of racing with.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much, Dylan. Enjoy the evening.
Thank you, you too. Bye.
Bye. Okay, let's see who's next. Okay, so this is going to be the first time that I'm going to be able to do this. So I will just like to welcome our lady racer, Joni Lee, to the commentator's booth. Yeah, are you there?
Yes, good evening.
Hi, good evening. How was the racing for you out there?
It was a bit rough and tough, but it was good.
I'm glad. I do know that you've been with us for quite a while and you've been improving a lot coming up through the racing. And it is interesting to see how the gentlemen out there do help you and try and improve your racing lines and style and things. Is there any advice you can give to anyone out there?
Rubbing is not racing. My mom would love me for that comment right now. Well, just I don't know what would be the English word for this. Uithouvermoë. Just keep at it, keep going, no matter how upsetting it is that you get knocked and bumped and slide into you and you slide off the track, and just keep your head straight and just continue your race and try and find the fun and joy in it. And you are quite right. A lot of the guys, I need to give a shout out to Rob and Craig. They have put immense time, a lot of time in trying to help me improve my lines and my racing skills. And there's a lot of other guys as well, like Melvin, like Michael. All of them has taken part in trying to better their co-drivers, if you want to call it like that.
Well, it's always great to hear that, a lot of the drivers out there is actually trying to help everyone to improve and make the racing a lot more interesting out there. But thanks for joining me in the commentator's booth. I do have to say you did very well there in the first race, keeping Herman behind. You had a very good battle and dice there with him. So well done on that one.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure being part of the league.
And we will definitely see you in the Polo Cup. I do know you like the Polo, so it will be fun seeing you out there. Thanks for joining me. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye. Well, I think I can still try and get one more driver in here, and then we're going to have to jump over into the other server to get that one up and going for the A class. So let's see if I can get Craig in here. Craig, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Craig. Good evening. You are in the commentator's booth. How was the racing out there tonight? You did very well and had a much better evening than last week.
Yeah, I still got knocked off. I don't know who it was, but these things happen. And tried desperately hard to make a comeback, but unfortunately, I only made fourth.
Well, at least it was a fourth position and not a last like in last week. So I'm pretty sure you should be moving up the ranks in this league. And I do know that you're very sad you were laying third for points, and the start of tonight you were laying in 6th. But I'm pretty sure with the two fourth places for this evening, you should be moving up almost into 4th position, maybe 3rd. So we'll have to see what happens as soon as we have the points calculated after the incident reviews. Because I do know.
Fantastic.
We do know there was quite a few incidents, but very well done on you out there. It was a little bit sad not seeing Tyron out there. Do you know more maybe why he wasn't racing with us tonight?
No, he's very, very under the weather, but he apparently did join. I know he got tossed off the race. He also got taken out. It must be a surname thing.
Oh no, I didn't even see him in the start of the race. I didn't know he was in the server, but it is very sad, unfortunately. Yeah, so I hope that Tyron will be back for the Polo Cup alongside with you. Thank you for joining us in this one. I do know it was your first series out there, so I hope you will be back for the next one again.
Absolutely, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
That's good, that's good. Thank you, Craig. Have a good evening.
Cheers, Tommy. Thanks very much.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.
Well, guys, that is the end for this one. Thank you for joining me for the B class for the JCW mini series. It was fun having everyone to support us on the live stream. Do like and subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Facebook. Stay tuned with everything that's happening. And I hope to see everyone out there for the second league for this year, which will, well, the third league for this year. The first one was the Oval Track Series, and then it will be the Polo Cup up next. And after that will be the V8 Mustang Supercars that will be racing after that. So stay tuned, and thank you for joining me tonight. It's always fun to be able to have a chat to you guys. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Stay warm, stay safe. Please do join in for the A class. We will be back within about 10 to 20 minutes with the start of that one. Stay safe, stay warm, get a refill, get some coffee, and we'll see you now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.